Welcome back to my channel. Today, What's the Obsession has exclusive footage of the inside of the Sigma Chi fraternity house, the fraternity that Ethan Chapin, one of the 4 Idaho victims at the University of Idaho, belonged to. We also have exclusive footage of a couple events held at the fraternity from the years 2021 and 2022 with Ethan and in at least one of them, Xana, appearing in the video. Anyone who follows this case knows that there is a huge gap in the timeline of Ethan and Xana the evening before the Idaho tragedy. One thing we do know is that Ethan and Xana went to his fraternity, Sigma Chi, for some duration of time, and how long that is, we do not know. The most popular belief about this case, since there is no suspect and no one has been apprehended related to this case, is that it was a targeted attack and either Kaylee or Madison were targeted. I think the most popular theory is that Kaylee was targeted. It seems that there's a lot more known about what Kaylee and Maddie did that night because we have several security camera footage vantage points at this time, and it is December 24th, 2022. We have a tight timeline for Kaylee and Madison thanks to Kaylee's sister, Olivia. We do not have all of those details regarding Ethan and Xana. In the past couple weeks, a theory, and I believe it's a rumor, surfaced that put forth a theory that it was actually Ethan that was targeted and not Kaylee or Maddie. The rumor goes something like this. I personally haven't found anything to substantiate it. Ethan got into a fight with someone at the frat house. Xana kind of broke up the fight, said, come on, we got to go. And there was really bad blood. And that was the motive for the murder. I don't know. It just seems like a pretty lame murder to me, but you never know with this case. It was also about 2 weeks ago when law enforcement came out and publicly said they were going to start putting some focus on trying to fill in the gaps in that timeline so they would have a better understanding what Ethan and Xana did on that evening. Take a listen to this.
This morning, police zeroing in on the movements of 2 of the University of Idaho victims, Xana Kernodle and Ethan Chapin, the night they were murdered, looking specifically at the hours between 9 p.m. and 1:45 a.m. when the couple was believed to be at Ethan's fraternity.
Why are you looking for more information specifically about where Xana and Ethan were in regards to his fraternity house?
That actually seems to be one of the larger areas that we don't have a lot of information in. And so being able to locate what they did that night, to maybe who they contacted, maybe any routes that they took home, that would be important for the investigation.
So clearly law enforcement didn't release any further details than, what you heard there, which wasn't all that much. So let's go back to some of the information that led people to believe that there may have been a fight going on at the fraternity house. So this is from one of those anonymous posters. Sometimes people post anonymously and later on there's information that comes out that corroborates it and you're like, damn, they were right. And then sometimes people post anonymously and, we don't really know what the motive is. So I hate to even refer to this as this is a fact-based channel, but this is what we got to go on as far as I know. So this person says, I have it on good authority. Cousin is a cop in a nearby town, but called in to help in Moscow once school started back up. Apparently, the investigation is looking directly at the Sigma Chi frat party Ethan and Xana attended from 8 to 9 that night. He did not have any update on their timeline after they left, 9 to 1:45, but did say it looks like the investigation is honing in on 2 suspects from the party that night, and an update should publicly name them by the end of next week. Well, clearly the people were not named by the end of next week because this post is from 2 weeks ago. The only thing I can say to give it credibility is it did come out just before the police announced that they wanted to focus more on Ethan and Xana. So that's what I got for you regarding this. One of the reasonable pieces of information that may lead someone to believe that it's very possible that someone from the fraternity house was involved is that when you're looking at the fraternity house, like right here, and then you look to the middle of the screen, and some of you have probably seen this, it's just a straight shot back to the house where the tragedy occurred. It's just a couple minute walk. So if you go a little further into looking at what's going on between the fraternity house there and the house where the tragedy occurred, you'll find that there is this pathway. It's a sidewalk. It starts essentially at the back of the fraternity house property. And in just a moment, when I show you the exclusive video that I have, you're going to see what that looks like. And then you go, up the sidewalk, up the stairs, right into the driveway, and in the back door, first floor of 1122 Kings Road. So how about that? And then here, this is just another perspective, looking at the house kind of from the side, and you're sort of looking on to where the sidewalk would be, where it leads you right up to the driveway that takes you right in through that first floor door. And just another note about law enforcement putting it out to the public that they were interested in learning more details to fill in the timeline, apparently, regarding what Ethan and Xana were doing that night. I don't know about you guys, but I haven't heard boo about that from law enforcement since. Absolutely zero follow-up, nothing whatsoever. So at the very least, I think that's just really bad, PR. It doesn't make the authorities look good when they're not keeping any kind of a connection with the public or with the families or whatever it may be. And then furthermore, gosh, if they don't have this suspect like ready to cuff, hook, line, and sinker, ready to reel in right now, I just do not understand all of this inconsistent messaging they've been putting out. It's all over the place. And you'd have to think that at this point, if they truly don't have any leads, the public can do nothing but help, particularly in a small, close-knit community like Moscow, where people are living literally so close together. You have to think eventually someone would come up with something as far as a lead that would crack the case. I have a hard time believing otherwise. But since law enforcement doesn't seem to be helping us out too much, let's take a look at the inside of the fraternity house so you can get an idea of how big it is, what the layout is, how far back the property goes. Then we're going to look at a couple other videos that feature events from Ethan's fraternity in this past year.
What's up, guys? We're the recruitment chairs for Sigma Chi at the University of Idaho.
Let's head inside, take a look. What's up, guys? So now we're inside the lodge. We just do stuff like philanthropies, brotherhoods, and socials in here.
Yeah, basically whenever there's a big group of people, we just like to kick it and chill in here.
So this is our study. We have the largest study on campus. This is the main room where people work on group projects and stuff, and then we got stalls up top and whiteboard back there.
And this is kind of all of our awards that we've won. These ones on the plaques up here, those are our Blue Petersons. That means we're in the top 10% of Sigma Chi's in the nation. And 2020, we won Chapter of the Year.
All right, so this is our fraternity standard, and this is what we recruit kids off of. It's a man of good character, a student of fair ability, with ambitious purposes, a congenial disposition, possessed of good morals, having a high sense of honor, and a deep sense of personal responsibility.
So this is a 6-man for incoming freshmen. It comes with a living room, kitchen. We have 2 rooms. They each fit 3 people in them. And then a bathroom with dual vanity. So this is a standard 6-man kitchen. It comes with full appliances. You got a working oven, working fridge. So we don't have our own house chef, but with that we do have the cheapest house bill on campus, which is going to be $2,800 a semester. So this is going to be a standard 6-man room. Everyone gets their own desk, their own area, own closet. You can kind of customize it and make it your own. So each room has its own loft with 3 beds. It can fit a full and even a queen.
So as we come down out of the courtyard, this is the basketball hoop. This is just like where the guys hang out. We like to stretch the minds and the legs, just get athletic.
First shot.
Right now it's empty around the court because we're working on putting bleachers in, so when you guys get up here, that'll be done.
Hey guys, my name's I'm one of the Derby Days chairmen up here for our chapter. We raise money for the Huntsman Cancer Foundation down in Salt Lake City. The past 3 years in a row, we've raised over $20,000, and this past year we just set a new record at over $30K. So something we take a lot of pride in. Throughout the week, we do a bunch of different events, and the sororities make their own banners to support our cause.
Sweet, well that just about wraps it up. Thanks for stopping by the house, guys.
Our phone numbers are going to be right here, so if you guys have any questions about Sigma Chi or Greek life in general, send us a text.
So that was the Sigma Chi recruitment video for University of Idaho for the year 2021-2022. And if you want to know where I got this footage, the source has asked to remain anonymous, so they shall remain anonymous unless they change their mind. And all right, so the video you're going to see next is the Sigma Chi Field Days from 2022. Ethan's in it several times, just momentarily for a few moments. You have to look for it for sure, but you can for sure definitely see him, especially a little bit towards the beginning. He's right in the camera. And Xana's in it a couple times briefly, so you're going to have to look for that again. But I think these victims are the most important thing, of course. What is also important is that you look at the faces of everyone else in that video, guys. Since, in my opinion, and this is the opinion I've officially formed, unless there's something huge we don't know, since law enforcement is not on their A game, I feel like it's almost left to the public to piece together what exists. So hopefully we will eventually create a whole enough picture that will lead to a warrant, that will lead to an arrest, that will lead to charges, that will lead to justice for the victims and the families. No idea if that
get him right. Darius Fades.